Hey again, we're back with new chapter, and in this chapter we will learn layer mask and clipping mask. So there are lots of techniques of masking images. Let's see how simply we can do a layer mask or a clipping mask. To understand the layer mask technique, you have to understand the layers first. So this is a layer palette, and here you will have anything you will see here. You will have layer of that object here. So let's assume we have to make this plane go to this image. So let's try how we can do it. So let's click and drag this image over to here and place it here. So we have the picture here. So let's see how masking works. So first we have to make a selection of this airplane. To make a selection of this airplane, we can use any tool here we have learned in previous chapters. So I'm using this select subject tool, and it will automatically select our plane like in more precise manner and more perfect manner. We can always improve this selection by adding a selection to any tool like polygon lasso tool, a quick selection tool, by adding, by subtracting, by adding again, by subtracting, by adding again, and now we have a rough selection of this airplane. So let's see how layer mask works. To make it work in a layer mask format, you just have to select this image, make a selection of this image, and click on this button, the layer mask button. Or you have to go to the layer mask, hide selection. So we made our plane disappeared and we wanted our background to disappear. So let's Command Z and let's inverse a selection first. Select, inverse the selection. Now we will go to the layer mask, hide a selection, and now we have our plane. So we will move our plane here. To transform the plane, you just have to press Ctrl T and you will have this transforming bars, and you can transform the plane or any object you want to transform. And now we have our plane. So it will work exactly the same as a selection tool. So what's the interesting part in the layer mask? So let's see the interesting part of layer mask. In our selection, if we made a selection wrong, or we destroyed a selection here, or maybe some other places, we cannot go back. But in layer mask, we can always go back and come forward. So let's see how we can bring back this area. So we have to select this layer and particularly select this layer mask area. So select this layer mask area, click here, select our brush tool, and to reduce the size of the brush, just right click on the artboard and reduce it here. And now it will only work on black and white colors. So we will select black color and we will paint it over, and it will start disappearing. But we want it to appear. So we will reverse this color and we will paint it over, and it will automatically come back. But it will come back with more area. So we have to be precise of our brush. Or we can do make a rough selection here. So we can make a very rough selection of this blue area, and we can always mask this out, like by clicking, selecting black color and painting it over. And we will deselect this, and removing this sharp edges We just have to paint it over. So the moment I paint black anywhere, it will start disappearing. And the moment I paint white, it will start appearing again. So it will create a mask over our original picture. That will be so much helpful. We can anytime remove any part of our picture and bring it back. We can make mistake and we can rectify it. So that's how the layer mask work. So we can make this image to this image. That's how our layer mask work. So let's see an example of clipping mask. So let's assume I want this picture into a frame. I have selected a rectangle marquee tool. I have selected an area. I have selected a new layer and I want to fill it with black color. So to fill it with any color, you just have to click here and select the color. Press OK, and to paint it, you just have to go here and paint brush tool and click on the color. So the moment we make selection and fill the color, we have this object. So let's assume we want this image to put it into this frame we created, the box we created. So we will drag it over and we will go to the layer. We will create clipping mask or Control Shift G. We will undo, we will press Control Alt G. So we will make Control Z. So let's see, we have create clipping mask here. So we can do this. We can do Control Alt G, or we can click Alt and move our arrow between these two layers, and the moment it converts into this arrow and this shape, you have to click between those two layers and it will move our image into that shape. So let's see another example of this. So let's write something here. Let's see. So we have a text here. We have a text here and we want our picture to look from this, like inside this text. So we will move our picture over this text and turn it on and press Alt and click between these two layers. So we will have our picture in between our text. So let's turn on this layer. Let's scale this layer. Let's see how it came. So to fill any layer with any color, you will see here, to fill any background color, you can press Control Backspace. We can always change color. This is a color picker tool. The moment you click here, it will turn into this picker color. You can always pick any color from anywhere inside this area. So I'm picking this color and I'm making it lighter, and now Control Backspace. So we have the background layer, we have our text layer, and we have our image into our text. So we can always transform it, Control T, and transform it down and move it over and adjust the image like we want it. So that's how clipping mask work, and that's how layer mask work. So that's it for this lesson. I'll see you guys in next lesson. Until then, stay safe.